Hey guys, I just went to class. There was some guys there who was doing some really fine acting. I really mean that. There was some really talented people in my class, including my friend. The teacher, she's a lady who's in a television drama on national television here called Wentworth. You might have heard of it, Wentworth Prison. It's a prison drama. It's doing fairly well worldwide at the moment. It's on Netflix, I think. Maybe, or it was. It will be again. I'm not sure. She's trying to find out whether or not there'll be a season 8 at this point. I've only seen the start, you know, of season 1. But after that, they kind of gave a conclusion. After season 7, she was telling us all about it. Anyway, she worked this hard. We got some really good results there. My work, I was fucking awesome. Of course, it was beautiful. But I'm still not feeling it from the group, you know what I'm talking about? They got this party going on. I thought, you know, I get the hair, I get the shirt, you know, I get the watch. I even got a nice jacket, but I'm not invited. What gives? I gotta work on my muscles or something. I think it's time to lose some fucking weight. Stop being a flabby 40-something-year-old and start looking like a much younger man. And maybe lying about it too. I think maybe if you got the hair, you can down your age where you're listed some places. You know what I'm talking about over there? So, yeah. You know, how many, I mean, if you're wearing hair right now, I mean, do you feel younger? Do you look younger? If you look at yourself in the mirror, do other people tell you you look younger? Or do you think maybe it's just imaginationary? You know what I'm talking about? Because I think if I look in the mirror when I'm not bald, I look better. I look younger, I think. I'm tired now, of course, because I got these fucking bags under my fucking eyes over there. But, you know, I think I look better. I mean, you've seen me bald. I mean, my head is naked in a lot of shots you've seen. So, I can expect that you've probably seen my head without hair on it. I don't think it's good. I think it's better now. I think it's a lot better now, and I think your head would look better with hair on it if you don't already have hair on your head. I've tried to convince people of this over the years, you know, but always these people going, you know, just shave it off, bro, or get a transplant, doing it wrong, go to a salon, embrace the bald, all that shit, you know. So at the moment I'm wearing what I think is lace. Because the poly was starting to pull out. Those hairs, motherfucker, they were falling right out of there all the time. It was like 2 days in with the latest piece. And it might have been something to do with the alignment. Because the hair was coming forward from nose to spine, which was what I was saying you gotta do. Otherwise it's gonna look like a wall, a fucking barricade. But once I did the peroxiding, those hairs look a lot better. So, maybe you have to do what I said not to. Maybe you need that sideways V-loop system to go across that way, from ear to ear. Then bleach it. Which is exactly the opposite of what I told you to do. So I'm sorry about that. But I think maybe if you're running your fingers through your hair and they're running from nose to spine, you're going to be dragging them out in the direction they want to fall out. Whereas if they're coming across like that way, and you run your hair back, they're kind of just jiggling around a little bit, you know? Sorry. Thank you. So with the poly, I just threw it out. It had already like been missing about 15 hairs along the front that were compulsory, you know? And then there was a shiny bit and it was dug in. It wasn't worth keeping. I fucked it up. And now, with the lace, it's not feeling as good, you know? But, you know, I had no problem. In the back here, I just stretched it right into position. Didn't need to be accurate. I could see what I was doing because you can see through it a bit, you know? The poly's like, you know, you can't see through it when you line it up along the back and side perimeter there. Also, help each other out in the community. If there's somebody who's commented on something and you have an opinion about it and you can help them out, because I get some questions sometimes about full hair pieces, and I don't know what to tell you. I don't have to do that. So hybrid poly at the back and then lace at the front. It might work, you know. It's for somebody in the UK. He's been asking about it, but I just don't know the answer to that one. I would have thought that if you can access and you can see perfectly at the back there, it would be better to have full, strong glue like Walker Ultra Hold all the way around the perimeter. But I've seen a lot of people, because they don't have a mirror that they can use hands-free set up in their bathroom, they gotta tape it. And I would have thought that tape sticks better to poly. So if you have poly around the back, it makes kind of sense there. But I kind of wouldn't know about putting on a full poly unit, just because you do sweat under there, you know. But if it's a cold climate, then it might not matter so much. But you still need your pores and your skin to breathe. And I think they can do that if you're wearing the lace, because even though they're blocked, those pores are blocked by, you know, glue, fully covering over all of them. I still think the heat can seep out through the medium of the glue and lace, but not so much through the glue and the poly, which is just sealing that in. It's almost like you're wearing a condom on your head. It's like a thermos, you know. So I think it's probably better, more sound decision to go with the lace if you're gonna do a full unit there. Then again, you can't pre-glue the system. But there's something else I didn't quite mention in some of my previous videos. And this is essential to watch me talking like this, because sometimes I won't ever cover it again when I'm in my bathroom. And I think that's the one, they're the kind of videos that people like to click on more. So I think you need to listen to this. When I have the pre-glued system on the poly, it's fine. I could just put it down and it would stay, you know. But what I've been doing is I've been spraying it with alcohol and making it all wet, and then I put it down and I slide it into position, and unlike the lace, it does not dry in 30 seconds. It does not dry basically at all. So you could be squishing that shit around for fucking hours before that thing dries. How is the air getting to it to make the glue dry out, to let the alcohol evaporate? You can't. So it's got to really seep through all these layers of glue. I think that kind of slows the application of the process down a bit. So this last night, I took this lace piece, cut it out. I felt it had fairly good bleaching on these knots, but the rest of the hair piece was there were a lot of dead ants in there. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful. Like sometimes you think, oh, this is nicely bleached here. This is good, but you know, sometimes the hair company will just bleach some of it and go, yeah, that's tested, done. Next, they gotta hold it against white porcelain, like the edge of a basin, all throughout the unit, so they know and they can quality check. And I'm talking to you, Lord Hair and Hair Direct and all these other companies, especially if you're using clothing dye, because there's nothing we can do about it, even though we shouldn't have to. But in emergency situations, we can go down to the store and we can get some peroxide and we can fix what you didn't do properly in the first place. But when you use clothing dye, we're fucked. So it's not fair. And then we gotta send it back. We gotta go to the post office. Most countries don't have the kind of, you know, cheap mail, cheap postage that you guys can do from your country. So we gotta spend a fortune getting that shit back to you. We gotta take time off work, line up at the fucking postal service, and then go to all this rigmarole to get the shit back to you, so you can send it back again. Another delay. Just send us something that works in the first place. So number one, don't ever sell unbleached knots. Number two, start bleaching the V-loops at the roots of all poly systems. That's where it's failing. As well as that, you got to figure out a way, if you're going to keep using the V-loops, to make them secure so they don't slip out everywhere, all over the fucking place. They're falling out like fucking, I don't know. I can't give you a good example of what they're slipping out like. Like your father's dong when he had an accident and you were born, maybe. That didn't slip out. That should have. Because you're obviously a mistake. I'm just kidding. So, the thing is, the hair companies, It's your responsibility to make things right. And for the rest of you, I think it's really important that you choose a system that's not going to kill you. And perhaps if you got a full coverage, then poly might be a problem in terms of, you know,